Home base, it's all about the home. Home decor, interior and exterior design, choosing paint colors, picking out rugs, organizing closets, being productive in your home office, and so much more. Let's jump right into today's episode with Southern Inspirations partner, Shepherd Organizing Solutions. Home base, it's all about the
Woo! We're trying to go again. So, hello, everyone. It's Michelle Hill, Southern Inspirations, and Paige Shepherd with Shepherd Organizing Solutions. And we are back with you for another episode of Tip Tuesday. I do apologize. We're starting a little bit late today. A couple of little technical difficulties. So, Paige, every week, when I'm like, I got this. I've been doing this for several weeks. I got this down pat. There's a new kind of little fluke or something. But we are here, and you are in your garage today.
I am, and I'll vouch for you, Michelle. It's not your fault. I think it's the technology. So it's not.
Oh my goodness. It makes me think of one of those little emojis with like the big eyes. Like, what in the world could it be now, right?
Right. Yes,
Anyway.
I'm in my garage today, and it might be a little echoey, but we're out here for a reason, because today I wanted to share some tips about garage organization. So back in January, when I was writing a blog every single day with 31 days of decluttering, I wrote about how to declutter and organize your garage. So I'm not going to go over those steps today. But when I post this later, I'll put the link in the comments so people could go back and read that blog if they haven't had a chance to yet. But today, instead of sharing that whole process from start to finish, I just wanted to share with you some of the systems that we have in place in our garage. And it works for us. But like I say about every space and schedule, everyone is different. Your family is different. The stuff you own is different. What's important to you is different. And so what we do probably won't work in every single garage, but I'm hopeful that it'll give people some inspiration, maybe some ideas, some direction. Or you can just think I'm crazy that my garage is.
Well, I know that there's been lots of interest in this topic. You know, a couple of days ago, I was promoting that this was our topic this week, and several people left comments that, oh, I need this, or, you know, it's where my pet hangs out, or just different things. You know, I'm having a home and I need to know ahead of time. So I just think it's very timely and just a fabulous topic. So I'm just excited that we're doing this.
Well, good. Well, I'm just going to share a few tips, a few systems that we have in place, and then afterwards I'll show it. You can kind of see some things behind me, but afterwards I will show it off. So maybe the pictures will inspire people. So,
and you know, Paige, I'm going to go ahead and put you full screen while you're showing those tips and take me out of it. Hopefully that will help people to be able to see a little bit better as well.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay. So, number one, the first system, if you want to call it that we have in place is that we try to keep everything off of the floor. And I'll show you that later. So much so that a few months ago, I asked my husband, Chris, if we could figure out a way to get the push lawnmower off of the ground. And he just kind of stared at me blankly, which I took as you shouldn't try to do that. So you know, it's got to be hard being married to me. I understand that I probably have ridiculous requests and high standards, but he's a trooper. So anyway, so other than our push lawnmower and our two vehicles, we don't have anything else on the floor. I mean, there's a rug over there, but you know what I'm saying. We don't have anything else on the floor, and we try to keep it that way. Now, occasionally, if somebody has muddy shoes or work boots from doing something in the yard or being out doing whatever, then those we leave outside so that they dry, and then we knock the dirt off and put them away inside. So it's really, that's a personal preference. I feel like it is tidier. It's less likely for things to build up or get a little bit out of hand if we try to keep everything off the floor. So that's the first thing. The second thing we do is we utilize the wall space. That's the way that we're able to keep things off of the floor. So we utilize the wall space with shelving and wall mounts. We have a bookshelf that's not probably designed for the garage, and it's honestly a little bit, I don't know, it's not really nice, but it works and it holds our stuff and it keeps it off the ground. And then the third thing is that, I'll show you this later, we contain as many things as possible. And I do that in every space that I organize, whether it's a pantry or a garage. So if you have a container for things, that means you're giving everything a home. Sometimes it's a bag, sometimes it's a bin or a turntable. It could be anything. It just depends on what it is that you're trying to organize. And recently we stepped that up a notch here in our garage when I started making custom vinyl labels. So I added bin clips and labels to the bins in our garage. And I realize that probably most people think it's a bit excessive, but it makes me happy. And I know where everything is. Everything has a home. So the last thing we try to do is to keep it tidy. So we try to maintain the space, and we're able to do that because everything has a home. Everything has a spot where it's supposed to land. Now, there are things that, pop up that we don't have a fancy label for, and that's okay, because we have such a good system. I don't have to worry about it, and I can find a spot for something else, or if it's temporary, I don't mind if it sits in the corner or whatever. It's not going to overtake the garage because we have a good system in place. So like I said, we put things back where they go. And if you're in the middle of a project or you're rushing from one thing to the next and the screwdriver and the hammer get left out or the tarp gets left out, it might sit in our garage for a little bit, but I don't let that stress me out because I know it has a home. And the next time I have free time or Chris has free time, we grab it and put it back where it goes. So garages, I don't think, are meant to be perfectly pristine and picture perfect spaces, but I do like to keep it tidy. So that also, every time we do yard work, we take the leaf blower and blow out the garage it's a garage. So it's got bugs and dirt and grass and whatever else. So we do our best to keep it tidy. And it really, I know it might seem like overkill to some people, but I think it works for us. So we can't hear you. I don't know why I didn't say it.
Okay. I'll tell you why you can't hear me. So when I took myself out of stream so that you would be full stream, during your entire your first tip, you were a little bit muffled, like we could hear you, but it was distorted. And so I was over here trying to figure out that to help you sound better instead of like typing in the notes that I normally do. So anyway, I had muted myself. So now, and you, after that first one, and as you started going into that second one, you began to sound better. But because I was a little bit distracted with that, would you mind, obviously I don't want you to go into the full description again, but I'm going to have you repeat the steps real quick because I do want to get them on the screen, particularly if people were like me and it sounded a little distorted. So I was number one, clean the floor.
Yeah, it's keep everything off the floor. That's what these are.
Everything off the floor. Okay, so I'm going to pop that one up there. Okay. And then number two,
we utilize the wall space.
Utilize the wall space. You sounded better by the time you got to that one, and I started typing it in, but then I didn't want to put number two up there, and I hadn't did number one up there. Okay, and number three?
We contain the items, so we can put them in containers, however you want to say that.
Okay, contain the items works. Okay, and then number four?
Is keep it tidy.
Of course. I put an exclamation point on that because if you go through all of that to get it organized and your wall space utilized and all that, then if you take stuff down from the wall or stuff off the shelf or whatever, and then you don't put it back, well, then you're kind of right back in the mess. And it could be, let me show this picture because you don't want your garage to look like that. And you really don't want it to look like that. Right, Paige?
Right. For the record,
Oh my goodness.
that's not a before picture of any of my clients, but
I was going to say, I hope not. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Holly, for watching. And I see we have a few other people that have joined. Thank you all for tuning in. We so appreciate it. All right. So I can take that down now. I got those tips up there. Thank you for walking through those again. I apologize, everyone, for the little trouble with the audio. So as Paige has mentioned, and we try to mention every single time, she is available for virtual and in-person consultations. And so I've got her website there at the bottom. We're going to take a quick break, y'all, because I want you, in addition to the home-based content, which is Tip Tuesday with Paige every Tuesday, and Kelly Colettis Designs every Friday, we also offer live cooking demonstrations, food pictures, recipes, and Southern Inspirations has partnered with D-Champ Eats on that, and I want to show y'all a little promo. So we're going to take a break. Before we do, Paige, anything else you want to just say about the tips so far?
no, just stay tuned because I do want to show you the pictures.
All righty, so let me get over here to this promo. Daniel and I are having so much fun with this, and I'm going to show you what we've got coming up. Here we go. Hey y'all, I'm Michelle Hill with Southern Inspirations.
And I'm Daniel Champagne with D-Champ Eats.
And we want to invite you to join us for another episode of Inspiration in the Kitchen.
We'll be making hamburger pie. And guess what? It's my first time making it, so let's see how it goes.
So watch us on Facebook or YouTube.
See you then.
There we go. So we have recently changed our time for Inspiration in the Kitchen. You can look for us every other Friday at noon in the Good Eating group on Facebook or over there on YouTube. So that's the Good Eating group. If you aren't a member, I encourage you to join. All right, we are back with Paige. She has repositioned just a little bit because I know she wants to show us some of the things that she was just talking about.
Yeah, so you're going to have to bear with me. This is kind of awkward to hold the laptop. But you can see this is one corner of our garage. We have some shelving attached there. Got tools on the bottom and some tools mounted in the corner. And then we have these bins. And I'm going to get a little closer. I'm going to try. So you can see cleaning supplies, sealant, auto cleaning tape, just different items that we store in our garage, and I have those.
Are those labeled, Paige?
Yeah.
Okay. And you just recently started creating labels, right?
I did. Yeah, I make custom vinyl labels. So for some clients, I make the label and actually stick it on the box. But these, I just use these little bin clips. So there are tons of options with that too. So let's see. I don't know how. Okay, so this is another wall mount. Let me close these blinds here. This is another. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
Okay, this is another area we have things mounted on the wall. You can see we have like lawn equipment, weed eater, shovels, rakes, brooms, stuff like that. We keep that mounted there on a track system that you can get these at any hardware store. You can get them at the Container Store, lots of different places. So those are nice. And then let me see if I can do a little, see, there really is not anything on the floor.
You can actually get your cars in there.
Oh yeah, we parked 2 cars in here.
Yep.
Okay, this corner's kind of dark, but again, this is the bookshelf I was referring to that we have different items on. Again, they're in bins. I apologize for the lighting. I don't have good lighting in my garage, I guess. And then here's the last wall. This is more just, it's not really tools or anything like that. We have like some chairs that we have mounted, stadium chairs, lawn chairs, golf clubs. And we have, let's see, over here we have games, yard games, bago, outdoor Jenga, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the grand tour, I guess. Again, we just try to keep everything off the floor. And the reason I like it like this is because it's maintainable, it's functional, and it doesn't stress me out when I open the garage. So
I think it looks phenomenal.
The few clients that I have helped organize their garage have all started out saying the same thing before we get started. They've said something like, I hate opening the garage door. It's embarrassing. It overwhelms me. It reminds me of how far I've let it go. And so we laugh at pictures of messy garages, but it really does weigh heavy on people when something seems like it's gotten too far out of control that you can't fix it. So like you said, Michelle, I'm happy to help with that either virtually, or you can read my blog and get some tips if you want to DIY, or I could come over and do a session. One of my favorite client reviews was after a garage session. The client sent me a text that said, "I'm sitting in my driveway drinking my coffee, just staring at my garage." And she probably looked pretty strange to her neighbors, but she was so proud of what she had accomplished. Aww. And so I just think, if I can alleviate stress for a client, whether it's from a space or a schedule or an event, that's just the most rewarding part of my job.
I love it. Well, thank you for inviting us into your garage today. It looks very tidy, very organized. And I know that anytime you and Chris go out there, you know where things are and what you need. And so I just think it's great. And it is possible. That's what we need to tell people. You may think it is impossible, but with utilizing these tips and or getting with Paige on a consultation, you can do it. All right, y'all. That wraps up another episode of Tip Tuesday. Paige and I thank you so much for continuing to tune in every week and for supporting us in our small businesses and our platforms. So please continue to do so and invite your friends and family to follow along as well. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Everybody have a wonderful afternoon. Take care.
Bye. Bye-bye.